I have retinitis pigmentosa, which is a degenerative eye condition. I was diagnosed at the age of 35, and that kind of changed my life somewhat. I was very adventurous into the outdoors, so all of a sudden that kind of went on hold effectively. But since doing that, I have climbed El Capitan in the Yosemite Valley in California, and I am now a part of Paralympics GB and a gold medal cyclist. I think the major thing at the start was that instantly I lost my driver's license, which was a massive blow. And where I was living in Scotland at the time, there wasn't a very good network of public transport. So I think that was the hardest thing I found, which kind of forced me to ride a bike to get around. Even though I love cycling anyway, so that was an easy choice for me. But I think the kind of losing the driver's license, and then I really struggle in the dark is my biggest problem. I'm pretty much blind in the dark. So everything around that, and certainly, going into this time of year, becomes very challenging. I think LCAP was the main one for me to realise my potential, I think. I spent 6 days solo on that rock face, and I think when I climbed over the top of that, I realised that, we are really capable of anything we put our minds to, and with given the amount of time to train and the support and things, anything really is possible. So for me, coming off the back of that and then setting my sights on the Paralympics, which I thought was going to be an impossible dream, to then going and achieving that as well, I think I always look back to the lessons I learned off on El Capitan about believing in yourself and backing yourself and committing 100%. That's the thing. It's, if you want to achieve something, you really have to commit to it. And that's, it's a very basic recipe for success, but it works. I think it's about being as open as possible. Often people with disabilities will hide them because they're maybe embarrassed about talking about them or anything like that. But I think it's just being as open, as honest as we can. And I think if you have a disability, it's asking for help. No one likes asking for help. I was certainly like that when I first started, but I realise now to achieve what I want to achieve, I need a lot of help. So as an employer, I would think it's, being tactful in the way that you go about it, but also that needs to come from, from the employee as well, in terms of, asking for that help and being open to it. Some people with disability don't want to talk about it. And it's not in a bad way, it's just they get asked about it a lot, so it's the last thing, they want to talk about because they think that disability defines them. So people have to be open to talking about it, but I think if you want to instigate a conversation, I would be pretty much straight to the point and say, listen, I'd really like to understand what this disability means for you, and I'm just trying to get my head around how that would impact me if I had that disability. So instead of saying diving in there saying, "Oh, tell me about your arm that got cut off," it's like, wow, how does that impact your life? And what could I do maybe at home that would simulate that disability? How, because I'd like to understand it. And that's the thing, it's understanding and having a very clear idea of actually what that person deals with. And you might find it's pretty amazing. I think that's fantastic that you're launching schemes to help with employees with disabilities. That's fantastic. For me, the coming years are Tokyo, which is looming very quickly. So I've signed a contract to the Tokyo 2020 Games. So that's really going to be my focus on the following 2 years.